So in this image of Hustle, GI, and Sam, there's this bike, the Huffy Sonic 6. When Sam described it to us, he remembers being young kids, seeing the commercial and really, in awe of all of the features and all of the design for this bike. And he's like, hey man, I think this is a cool way for us to pay homage to, a bike that was special to us, to our childhood. First thing was first, Sam tasked us as a team, like, hey, let's try to track down one of these bikes, see if we can find it. We searched high and low, from Offra, Facebook Marketplace to eBay, and most of the listings that we were finding, either the bikes had already sold already, or we just couldn't get in contact with the buyer. That is until one listing that we found on Facebook Marketplace. So I reached out to the buyer based in Virginia, told him, hey, look, I'd love to purchase it. By the grace of God, this guy, messaged us back. I think he was selling it for maybe just shy of $100 and some odd. So Sam's like, hey, look, just tell him we'll give him $300. Just tell him we need that bike, hold it for us. And so I'm communicating back and forth through Messenger, and I'm telling him, hey, we really want to buy this. We'll give you $300. So Tim becomes suspicious. He's like, hey, $300? Like, why are you guys so gun-ho about purchasing this thing? I'm only asking, the listed price is $100 and some odd. Why are you offering to pay more than that? That's kind of unusual. So I say, hey, look, we want to secure this thing. Let me send you a digital payment right now through Zelle, Cash App, Venmo, whatever the case may be, and we'll lock it in. Guy said we only want to do cash, and he said he doesn't ship and has to be meetup. So I thought, okay, he's in Virginia. I went on Google Maps, and I thought, wait, I have a nephew who lives in Atlanta. So I reached out to my nephew, Danny. I said, Danny, look, I got a little side quest for you. If you're willing to accept, we could chip you off if you could take the time to do it. So now we're in contact with the buyer, and I put him in a group thread. So there was some miscommunication at some point between Sam and I and the buyer or whatever. And we end up sending the buyer, and not only do we send him the $300, but we send him a little bit of money on top of that, to ensure that he secures the bike, and maybe he could put a little spit shine on it and get it cleaned up. So I think we send him like maybe $600 and some change, to him. And so the buyer becomes even more suspicious. He's like, dude, we agreed to pay, $300, cash. Now I received a Zelle payment. What's going on? And it's coming from, Marathon brand. What is that? So Dan's like, hey man, I got 685, I don't know, I'm not feeling good about this is a scam. Which to me, I'm kind of scratching my head because I'm like, you already have the money secured. So I assure him, like, look, there's no scam here. If you want, we'll give you cash on top of it. We'll give you the $300 we agreed to. All right, man, I don't know, this is feeling kind of weird. So I find a meeting point, in his town at a Home Depot. My nephew drives up there, he inspects the bike in the parking lot, make sure it's good. He gives him the $300, and now we're off with the bike, thankfully. So what started off as a maybe $100 and some odd bike turned out to be, we ended up paying over $1,000 for this bike. So this is the journey of getting this bike so that we can, reference it for this project. That's the whole story in a nutshell of how we ended up drawing inspiration from a bike that was significant to Hustle and Sam, his block, his neighborhood, his generation. And we recreated that magic so people in this generation can enjoy.
Put my right hand to God, shine on these bras, stay on my job, grind with my squad, 100 racks on my car, no license at all. No 10 on that thing, nigga, 'cause that's how we ball. All these fuck niggas flawed.